What's up, everybody? Today I'm here with Russ Perry from Design Pickle, and we're actually at a pickle factory, and we're going to talk about how to niche, why it's important, and how to make sure you're really building your brand to grow your fitness studio or gym. Okay.
Do I say anything?
No.
Okay.
We might keep that though.
Okay.
If you own a gym or you need a gym, this is your guy.
My name's Mike, and I help fitness studios that are ready to take action, work hard, and grow their studios. In this very saturated industry, there's tons of competition, but the opportunities are incredible. We'll cover the most common challenges in the fitness world and invite guests in the show that have learned to overcome them and share their strategies with you. This is the GSD Show. All right, so why do we have barbed wires? Is pickle theft a thing?
Yeah, like stealing pipes and copper wire, like the metal from the manufacturing
What's
process.
this?
That's cauliflower, pickled cauliflower. They're doing cauliflower today.
Pickled cauliflower?
Yep.
Can we grab one?
Probably not from there.
So why did you decide to name your company Design Pickle?
You know, my background was running an agency, a creative agency, and at the end of the day, we just worked with like a million boring companies that always wanted to name their company something boring. Like literally technology company this, information systems this. So when I started my own new thing, a niche down version of graphic design service, I literally thought to myself, I want a weird, fun name. I liked pickles, and designpickle.com was available.
And the agency you had before was actually doing really well. You had like a branch in Scottsdale, and you had another location in Argentina or something, right?
Yeah, so on paper we were doing well. It was a $3 million a year business. We were doing branding, like $250,000 branding projects. However, the problem was we weren't profitable. So we were posting these big numbers and things were awesome and fun, and like we looked like we were cranking.
They did good work.
And the work was great, but at the end of the day, our business model was flawed. Like we weren't making money at the end of the day. So
why do you think it was so flawed or not able to scale?
A lot of it had to do with simply that we're running with a remote team in Argentina. That's where our design team was. But we were trying to do too much. We were generalists. We weren't specializing. We weren't niching down. We weren't finding ourselves in a place where we can just become experts at something. So every project cost a ton of money to execute. We had a ton of mistakes. We'd always have to redo stuff because everything was like an original thing. So when I started Design Pickle, it was still graphic design, but we decided that we were just going to go really narrow and niche and get really, really good at one part of graphic design. You're going to have to move here. Let's go this way.
But go ahead.
But we were going to get really good at graphic design and just one part of graphic design instead of trying to do everything from websites to social media to mobile apps to this. We were just going to do a subset of like sales and marketing content.
Okay. And it actually worked out really well for you. I mean, you built a pretty big business so far. I mean, considering, right? In what, like a year?
Yeah, so we launched in January 2015, and now we're doing over 100K in revenue a month.
Just doing graphic design.
Just doing
no
niche
websites,
graphic design. Yeah.
No social media management, no advertising, no Facebook ads, just
literally just designs. Yeah, every day we do a couple hundred jobs a day right now. And that was the beauty of like our system, is that we were able to get really, really focused on that production level of design and make it a really profitable system, make it a really good system, delivering good stuff. And my team now can focus on that, not having to worry about this new project or this new project or this new project.
And you know how to hire much easier as well.
Yeah.
Is this the pickle we can sit on?
This is the pickle, yeah.
So let's sit and talk on the pickle. Wow, what is this? Wait, are you supposed to go in the pickle? I can't fit in the pickle.
I don't think you can fit in the pickle. It's a small pickle.
Except for
so
kids.
yeah. So this is not our pickle.
Let's just talk here.
This
looks pretty professional.
It's like it's like a talk show. So today on Pickles World, we're going to talk about Mrs. Klein's pickles.
Mrs. Klein. So it's funny that you niche. I niche too, and I had an agency like yours, and you know, obviously the agency world, it's just coincidence that that's what we were very broad in, and we started focusing and niching. But there's a lot of businesses that really started niching, even in the fitness industry, with just doing cycle or just doing yoga, that have actually ended up being really successful. But what I've noticed is a lot of personal trainers, a lot of fitness instructors, a lot of gyms, they want to, instead of keep consistent with their brand or pivot into the new thing that everybody wants. They want to just add all the trends that they think they can have, and they start doing so much.
Yeah.
And I noticed a lot of them are really struggling. Do you think they're going through the same stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's this sort of mindset shift that you go through as a business owner, as a fitness owner, where you launch and you like want every dollar in every business, and then you kind of become an expert at something, but you really don't double down on it. And it goes well for a while, and then things maybe dip a little, and then you can kind of go one of two ways. And what we see and what you talk about is they start putting ancillary services. Oh, we're gonna do this. Oh, we're gonna do this. I mean, I just talked to a guy, he's like, we're gonna do cryotherapy now, and now we're gonna do this, and now we're gonna do this. And you know, there's always gonna be new stuff that you can buy and you can invest in. But the people who are gonna grow and scale and get really, really good are the people who then further double down on whatever their niche is. And it could be a
service. You look at some of the brands that are doing really well, and that's what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to let them do their thing, and then we'll come back to rate that.
Might work.
Okay. We're going to let him drop his pickles, and then we're going to go.
We can just roll right here.
Can we roll the pickle over, or are we in an aisle?
It's on wheels, dude.
I could probably sit on this. I don't know if I should. Is that for kids to sit on? Is that what it's for?
No, you put pickles in here, dog. It's a cooler.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How about over there, facing that way?
Okay.
We're having a lot of pickle problems.
Yeah.
Problems in the pickle factory.
Hashtag pickle problems. Huh?
Is that going to be too loud?
I don't know. Can you hear okay?
No, it's pretty loud.
Huh?
Pretty loud.
It's pretty loud.
All right. I got 99 problems, and the pickle location is one.
I wish there were more pickle puns. There's just not a lot to work with.
Over here?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Generic, yeah, no branding we have to blur out.
So you've niched, and I've done the same thing, right? You just went right down to graphic design, and we really just focused strictly on working with fitness studios. And I've noticed it really take my business to another level. Same thing for you. You've not only been able to scale your business, but even provide a better service in the world of graphic design than you probably did at your last agency. Same thing with me in fitness studio marketing. I noticed that this, coincidental that we both just owned agencies and we got there. It worked out that way, but every industry has this same type of problem where people are looking to add things on to keep up with trends as opposed to either staying consistent with brand or just committing to a new pivot and just going, okay, well, I'm going to now do this or I'm going to now do that, like you did. And you look at some of the best brands like Soul Cycle. That's all they do is spin. Same thing with Cycle Bar, right? Orange Theory Fitness, Fit Body Boot Camp, CrossFit has obviously really blown up. We know what they do. But you were mentioning, some of these fitness studios that you've seen, you work with, they do some other stuff too, right? Yeah,
well, you look at, I think it's a lot has to do with the maturity of the person, the business owner, the entrepreneur. For you and I, when we started, we're probably like a lot of gym studio owners where they're just like really pumped up and they want to just do whatever and serve and do and like make an impact in the world.
Right.
But that only can get you so far, and your brute force and your brute strength and effort and just marketing and hustle can only grow you so big. So rather than pivoting and doubling down on a vertical or a niche or a process or a type of fitness or a product, they start to go wide, and they start to say, oh, okay, well, we're going to start to sell this. Well, maybe we should do supplements, or maybe we should do this. And before you know it, they're literally the same size company doing 100 different things very averagely.
And it's really hard to tell your story. It's hard for your customers to tell your story.
Yeah.
It's hard for your vendors to tell your story, which it just complicates things. And we worked with fitness studios that have done that. Initially maybe they were just a yoga studio, and then they started adding Pilates and bar. And not that you can't be, successful doing that, depending on what you define as success. Maybe you just want to have one location that's pumping out a certain amount of revenue, you could do it. But if you really want to scale this thing where you may have 15, 20 locations and you're relying on other people to run a system the way you would run it, you have to have some sort of a process, right?
Well, and let's bring it back to pickles, because it's totally relevant. You have to have a story that people can tell themselves. So when they come to you and experience whatever you're going to do, what are they telling their friends, their coworkers, their colleagues?
Right.
So we've been joking a lot around pickles, and we're just a graphic design company, but the reason we chose a fun and quirky brand and found the Pickle Factory to give out pickles at our events is because people remember that.
They do.
And so we've niched in a weird way around being creative with how we deliver our product. And I think that's a really huge opportunity for fitness studios is you can niche with what you do. You can niche with maybe your sales model, like membership, a la carte. You can niche with a product or service, but you could also niche around like how creative you are in the marketing and the sales and your brand.
Well, I've even seen, like, so your shirt asked me about, I have that one too, because you gave me that one.
My interview pickle shirt.
Your interview, and I have this Obey the Pickle shirt, but everybody asks me, obviously, you're going to ask about that, right? Because it says it.
Sometimes people are like borderline nervous. They're like,
my wife doesn't feel comfortable with me wearing that right now. But people ask about it, and then I have to say it, and I go, it's actually a graphic design company that I know. This guy owns it, and it's like unlimited graphic design for a certain amount of money every month.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm telling your story. It's very easy, as opposed to if I just had a shirt that said Arizona Graphic Design or US Graphics or
exactly.
Right.
And think of how many fitness studios have so-and-so fitness or gym or this or that or the other. I mean, I get it. You probably want those words for SEO.
Which isn't even that important anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, if you are the gym for 21-year-olds who are partying all weekend, own that, you know?
Right.
Have that be your niche and have fun branding and have everything coordinate so that someone goes there and either they say, yes, this place absolutely is for me, or no, this place is absolutely not for me.
Right.
And I think that you mentioned a couple of big brands, like that's what they do.
Right.
When you go to a spin class or you go to Orange Theory or you go to CrossFit, you're like, I love this or I hate this. There's no middle ground.
Which is what you want.
Exactly.
Because you don't want everybody kind of liking it, because then it prevents you from getting loyalists. And people that kind of like things aren't really actively talking about you as much. People that love it are really talking about you. And those that, you know, hated it, it's okay. You know, you can't build a business for everybody. Most of these fitness studios can't handle more than 200 to 300 customers anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like you need millions of people to love it.
And that's the same for our business. So funny enough, when we did our first marketing event, we did pickles kind of like last minute because we couldn't get a trade show booth. So the whole marketing strategy was to get a pickle cart, not this pickle cart, a different one, and hand out pickles. Turns out people either love or hate pickles.
Was that the infusion?
I
was there.
Yeah, that was the icon.
Everybody knew who you were. Actually,
people were going nuts.
There was a hashtag. I don't remember what it was, but I searched it later. There were a ton of pictures of you.
It was Obey the Pickle.
Was it? Okay, that's what it was probably, yeah.
But the point about the pickles, and I think what we were saying with the branding is, you got to take a stand. You got to have something that's polarizing, maybe not offensively, but something that people can know and make a quick judgment call. If you're Joe Schmo generic studio and fitness gym, the 1,000 people that come across your brand are going to have no idea what you do until you get them in the door. And then at that point, it's such a small amount of people versus how many people probably could see your brand and know, hey, I'm going to try that place or I want to go there.
Awesome. Well, let's take a walk around and see the rest of this warehouse real quick. So tell me about, with Design Pickle, because you work with a lot of fitness studios. I know a few of them that work with you.
Yeah.
So why do they work with you? I mean, what are they using you for? I guess I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around why they would need like an unlimited graphics guy.
So the need and the pain point really comes down into, there's just a ton of channels and a ton of places that you need to be marketing nowadays. Okay. I mean, you have all your social outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're kind of in a pickle dead end here.
We'll hang out
we could hang out here with these boxes. So you have all your social media channels. You have email, you have your website, and then for most studios and gyms, they have physical locations. Okay. So you're constantly putting out new messaging, new programming, new marketing. And before a service like ours, you're literally having to deal with a designer, an agency, a studio owner that's doing it themselves. And for most of our clients, they're usually doing it themselves and not working on their business. Okay. They're worrying about the ad or messing around trying to design something or online or forgetting to do it. So we designed our service just for people in that situation where you can just request it and it comes back. And so our studio clients, our gym clients are just blowing up their marketing and sales because they can get 20 things done and not have to worry about what it's going to look like. We match the brand and we match the message, whatever it is, and it just frees them. I mean, that's the most common thing we see or hear back from our clients. It's like, oh, I can now go train. I can now go work on my business. I can now do these other things. I'm not like stressing out about click, 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 trying to design something.
Right. So the ones that you work with that are, obviously using you the most and they're the most successful with it, what's like the most common thing that they're asking you to help them with designing?
It's going to be sales and marketing related content that's going on to social media channels.
Okay.
So weight loss challenges, special promotions, things that you want to advertise your brand around, whether that's new class schedules, all that kind of stuff.
Did they ever ask you for like, hey, because I want to have stuff like on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all these kind of have different sizes?
Yeah.
Can you do like 10 all at once and just say, we need
absolutely. 10? And that's another thing, right? You design one graphic or one message, but then you have 5 different versions that you need to create. And then let's say you want 5 different messages. Now 5 times 5 is 25. Now you're creating 25 files and you've literally spent 3 hours trying to like mess around and do all of that. So that's what we would take on and outsource. And it's freeing. I mean, it really is fun to see these clients come on and they're just like, oh, thank you. Right. Thank you so much.
So now, I know you do the graphic design. We talked a little bit about this earlier. What if some guy said, can you build us a website?
Outside our scope. We don't do that. I mean, and that comes down to the niche. My old agency, yes. I mean, we'd say, sure,
we'll build you a rocket ship.
Whatever you need. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But for now, it's no. And we have vendors and partners. And I think that's what people appreciate nowadays. Like, they want to work with an expert. I want to work with the guy, like if I'm going to go do fitness or whatever, like I want to work with the guy who that's what he's been doing forever. And so we just thought about that and okay, we want to be the best in this spot, but we're not going to do the website. And we're happy to turn away that business to people that we can trust.
You know, it's funny. So I went to go see a couple people speak at this conference once, and they were telling a story about this one person that he was coaching, and all she does is coaches hockey goalies. She's a personal trainer for hockey goalies.
Yeah.
Think about how niche that is. How many goalies are on a hockey team?
1.
Yeah.
Or 2, maybe a backup.
Right? So that's all she does. And she's making over $400,000 a year.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Just providing online and personal and group coaching programs for goalies. Now you take the average trainer. The average trainer's not making $400,000 a year.
Yeah.
But the average trainer goes, what's your goal? Okay, so you want to lose 30 pounds? Great, I can help you with that. What's your goal? Okay, you want to put on 15 pounds? Great. You want to do a show? You want to be on stage? Great. Okay, you want to be a better hockey player? Awesome. And then they'll do their best, but it's not going to be as great. I mean, if you were a hockey goalie and you really decided, okay, I'm going to take my career very seriously, I'm going to take it to another level, you got 2 trainers here, and here's this guy, credible, does really good work, works with everybody, charges $80 an hour. And then you got me, I charge $120 an hour more, but all I do nothing else. I turn down everyone unless you're a goalie in the sport of hockey.
Yeah.
You could be any other position in hockey. I won't take you. You have to be a goalie.
And by the way, you have to commit to 10 hours at a time. You have to come to my camp every summer.
Right.
I mean, the amazing thing about when you niche and specialize is you can raise your rates. You can do more creative things because you are the expert.
Right.
And we see that, and I was actually working with some marketers and some clients, and we were talking about just marketing in general. And I said, there are $1 million ideas when you niche. There are maybe high 6-figure ideas when you're a generalist, and most likely 5-figure ideas.
Yeah, and you know, we got to see through the programs we've been, because I met you through Accelerator, EO. And we're lucky in that organization. We got to see some really good people speak, and we got to see Damon John speak, and Michael Gerber, and there was this other speaker, Jay Bear, I got to see, and all 3 of those guys, one of which is a billionaire with Damon John, but they all said in order to be really, really, really successful and break yourself out of that struggling entrepreneur state, you have to be really great at saying no. And you know, you take Steve Jobs, when he left Apple and he came back, I think they had like thousands of products, right?
Yeah, it was insane.
Printers and all that. And then like one of the first things he did was he said, we're chopping it down to, I think it was like 4 products that he decided to go down to. And everybody thought it was crazy because they had all this inventory and they had all these marketing campaigns out there already. And it took the company to an entirely new level, and everybody really started to know what Apple does and what they're great at. But it's terrifying.
Yeah.
For somebody that's, okay, well, I have 35 clients already, or I have 120 members already, and this person, this group of people here does want to lose about 30 to 50 pounds, and this group here does want to put on weight. How do you give them the courage? What do you say to them to tell them to? It took me 2 years.
It's hard, yeah.
Me to niche for 2 years, and finally I read the book Built to Sell. I don't know if you ever read it.
Oh yeah, it was a huge book.
And the Audible was great. I don't know if you got an Audible, if you read it. The Audible was great because it was a story. There wasn't a lot of notes to take. It was just understanding the concept. And as soon as I finished the book, I knew I had to do it. And I did it right after, and it's been the best move I've ever made.
Yeah.
So you've read the book too.
Well,
what do you say to somebody?
The biggest thing that people think they have to do is like fire all their old clients and all of a sudden only do what your new niche, which is not the case. And in fact, even in my story, when I closed the agency, I started consulting. I was like a one-man agency as I was, you got to make money. So there's just a shift that I think can happen. And what I always say is like, your current clients don't care. They're not going to care if all of a sudden you become the hockey goalie coach, as long as they're still getting the service. And your current clients won't be clients for life. So eventually they'll phase out and they'll move, they'll succeed in whatever goals. Sometimes they die, which we've had before, which is kind of weird. But the point is that every time you lose a new client, you gain a new one in your niche, and the natural laws of attrition just replace. And especially then if you are marketing, your messaging, all of that kind of stuff. And what you find too is the more that you start to go down your path, the more people who want to work for you, the more people want to pay you, the easier it is to get referrals, because people say, hey, you're the hockey expert.
Referrals has been the biggest change for us.
Oh, amazing.
Because before, we worked for 5 years with all different industries. And like you said, we still to this day have about 10 or 12 customers that are not in the fitness industry that we've had for 4 years. Mm-hmm. They like the results we have. They're great clients to work with, and we still do some stuff for them. Everybody else is fitness, but we maybe got 10, 15 referrals a month when we were not niched.
Yeah.
And now it seems like every day we get a good 2 to 5.
It's amazing.
We'll have a day where we get 5 or 6, and it's easier. It's easier for them to tell your story. And I actually ended up making 3 sales by saying no to one. This one guy that was referred to us by somebody that we worked with years ago, a roofing company, which is not our niche, but we would have taken him a year ago. Mm-hmm. And he said he wanted to hire us for marketing, and I turned him down. And he had a good budget, healthy budget. It was actually hard to say no. That was my first no.
Yeah.
It was like in February, March. It was my first no.
Which is so empowering, though, when you did it. You're like, yes,
yeah.
I'm niching.
There was a lot of doubt, though. It was empowering, but it was because it was still going on. And then he said, what do you mean? What do you do? And I told him, right now we're, really great at marketing fitness studios and independent gyms. That's what we're great at, and that's what we're, sticking to. His wife owned a CrossFit, mm-hmm. and she ended up jumping on the phone. So I signed her up with her CrossFit, and she ended up referring me to 3 other people that are part of this mastermind that she's a part of that are also CrossFit owners. Or 2 other people. So we ended up getting 3 sales by saying no to one roofing company.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And she was so confident that we were that good because I just said no to her husband, who had a budget 5 times as good as hers.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm saying yes to her. And so it was an easier sell. She had more confidence in us. And, it was easier for her to refer. She even told, or the one person that she referred to me even said, I heard you said no to her husband, the roofing company, and that you only work with fitness people. Yeah, that's all we do. And it's conversation.
And it instills confidence. And this is what's amazing. I would imagine in the fitness, and you can tell me if I'm correct, with your clients and fitness clients in general, like the ones that get the best results are the ones that are committed. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that are engaged, they're showing up and they're doing the work. And so what I found is like when you have a brand and you have a niche, the people who are attracted to that are the people who are going to succeed regardless. So that's been this other crazy dimension about finding a niche and narrowing in our focus, is we're actually attracting better clients that are just awesome. They have great attitudes, they're willing to do the work, they love what you're doing, they're really empowering you. And I remember when I had my agency, it was like dragging people through mud just to get them on board with our ideas.
Right.
Now we have people who are literally like, I love what you guys are doing. And in fact, what we're doing is less complicated, easier, right. Like more focused.
You're doing less, but you're doing more.
Exactly, and they love it for that. Right. And if you think about like we're here in a pickle factory, there's a lot of restaurants that use and buy pickles. What are the ones that people love? Like the In-N-Out, people go nuts for In-N-Out. They just do like hamburgers.
Yeah,
that's it. And people go crazy. So creating this culture of advocacy and kind of like customer and social validation, I found it just become so much easier as we've focused in.
Right.
And the same, I know for CrossFit, for all these big brands, they go less and you have people that become fanatics around it.
Well, you know, and the thing is, just like what we tell our, you know, our vendors and people that work with us and wonder why we niche, we are helping less people, but we're helping them so much more because we've gotten so focused on what the real problems are. We've really started understanding the pain points much better. We've gotten a clear picture of all the things that they really want, not just what they tell you they want, but what they really want, because you start learning about that down the road too. Dave Berg talked about unarticulated needs in his episode. He was spot on. And you know, when you take trainers, same thing. You know, let's say a personal trainer can have 50 customers probably at most, 50 clients. And then you take a average fitness studio, maybe 300, and you go, okay, well, I have people that do everything. I have a weight loss guy, I have a strength training guy, I have a hockey goalie guy, I have all these guys. You know, if I say no to all those people and just say yes to them, but then I have almost nobody. Well, that's not the case though.
Never.
Because you're gonna you can fill the same bucket. You're just filling them with the same one group person. That one person that all she does is train hockey goalies. She probably can manage more clients than a person that doesn't, because her meal plans are probably pretty close.
Yeah, you're just a slight variance here, slight variance there.
Right. So she can help less people, less types of people, but she helps them way more. She knows more about the common injuries and the common rehab stuff to deal with, and you know the type of exercise her muscles are already getting in the regular practice, and she can really help work around it. Whereas the trainer, he's probably asking a lot of those questions and winging it as he goes, maybe doing some research, but you're just never going to be able to really identify all the problems and all the wants and needs of your customer if you have every single type of person as your customer.
And rewind back to our roots as an agency, if every project or every client is a one-off and you're doing it from scratch, if things don't go right, it's impossible to figure out what went wrong. Like, you can't problem solve because it's the first time you've done it, or it's the first time you've worked with this type of client. When you niche and you do it over and over and over and over again, then when something goes sideways, you can look back at the 10 that didn't go wrong, look at the one that went wrong, or the results that didn't happen or whatever, and say, aha, here's where we varied and it didn't have the right results. Let's rewind it and go this direction.
Right, or you could even spot them before they happen.
Exactly.
You know, because you kind of can see the writing on the walls already. The hockey goalie trainer, she can probably already tell if you have an ankle injury, okay, that's probably going to lead to a hip injury if we don't start doing these type of workouts, because she already knows, she's dealt with a couple injuries like that in the past.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so there's a ton of pickles here.
Tons of pickles.
I feel like I'm in the right spot because it smells like pickles like crazy in here. It's nuts. Now I want a pickle.
Wait.
So can I get...
What's your diet right now? Can you eat a pickle?
Yeah, I can have a pickle.
You can have a pickle?
I'm just going to have to do a little bit more tonight. It's okay.
All right, well, I got some pickles right here. I always carry pickles, dude. Always. You never leave home without pickles in your pants.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah, I got two. So the trick is, especially if you have these bag ones,
it's not as warm as I thought it would be.
No. I chill my pickles. These can be like pickle juice grenades. So you got to be real careful. There's a little niche here, and then you just kind of tear it open.
Wait, where did you? Oh, you went from the side?
Yeah, just from the side. Ooh, see, I'm already losing a little juice here.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
And then don't worry about your hands being dirty because it's tons of vinegar. Dude, you're a rookie. You're losing your juice.
You've clearly eaten pickles out of a bag.
Keep it in the bag. We'll keep it in the bag. Don't squeeze it.
Look at my spot. Look at his spot.
4 drops.
I think those are mine.
Yeah, that was clean. Now, I've actually been told by many fitness people that the sodium in pickles helps after a workout. Literally, trainers have said like the juice and everything helps you with recovery after a workout. So for everyone watching this, we recommend Mrs. Klein's pickles. They've been helpful letting us film here. And they come in these convenient bags. You don't need to refrigerate them.
I have to keep eating it because it's so hot.
Yeah, you got to keep going. Did you get a spicy pickle or a regular one?
Oh, I got a hot one.
Oh, nice. I got a regular dill.
Did you? Man. There you go. Well, hey, I shake your hands when I have pickle over it.
Cheers, pickles.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If you like this episode, then subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Stitcher and to our YouTube channel to never miss an episode. You can get all the links by going to thegsdshow.com. Thanks, and see you next time. We're at the Pickle Factory, and apparently I have to wear pants and closed-toe shoes. Had the shoes. Got to get my pants on now. Thanks, Russ Perry, for buying some pants. So just record putting the pants on. You're gonna do fast motion. What do you think? Should I just ruin the pants and not the shoes?
I feel like if you're gonna step on it, it's gonna seep through anyway. Right?
It is, isn't it?
You know.
Yes, we're good.
Like a Nike swoosh.
You guys look like you're about to do an info commercial right now.
Do we have a deal for you?
This is
for the
it.
low price of $19.95.
What do we get?
You can not only get a whole pickle, but these dill chips that are coming to you fresh from Phoenix, Arizona.
But wait, there's more. If you get these pickles today, you get a free hairnet and shirt ordered to you and sent to your home, no shipping included.
Don't forget the beard net.
And a beard net. All right, ready? I also have to put on some hairnet and glasses. I've never worn a hairnet before. I don't even know if I have it on. How do you tell? Is there like a right or a wrong way?
I don't think so.
It's like a sock. Oh my god. Where are those guys? Russ just went over there to get a giant pickle. So he should be back soon. How bad is it?
It's amazing.
Is it bad?
It's great.
Man, such a difference between you and me. How did you do that? That doesn't even seem plausible.
I've eaten 1,000 of these.
No, yours has less juice. Look how much I spilled, and I still have more juice in you.
I've drank my juice.
No, you didn't. That's why you said.
I gave you the ringer pickle.
Okay, thank you very much.
At California Apparel Surplus.
It's funny, I'm going to the pants store. I don't remember what movie that's from.
Anchorman.
Anchorman? I'm dying for a pickle right now. Like, I keep
Here,
spilling it.
let's bring it. We can eat it in the back.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys. Are we ready?
Of
I
course.
feel like I'm going to lose track a lot.
But that's why it's going to be the best episode ever, because everyone's going to be like,
Oh, wow, this is a good look.
this is amazing.
Maybe I should, no. I'll just keep it.
The boots are good.
Boots are great. You going this way?
I'm going to go this way. Can you get on it?
I could
Get on it.
All right.
We have to be careful
This is
here.
great B-roll. Why do we have to be careful?
You know, this is probably
there a-
like an OSHA manufacturing facility.
Oh, I thought it was like a hill.
So, here, let's get off. I don't want them to be like, they're making fun of our pickles. Now it's gone too far.
How many pickles do you eat a week?
Like a dozen, maybe?
Really?
Yeah.
That's
What
crazy.
sucks is we have all these pickles in our office. And you know when I misplanned my meals for the day? Is when I start eating our marketing inventory. And I like tear into a box to eat some pickles because I'm starving.
Does your office smell like pickle too?
Yeah, you can have these boxes and it just smells like pickles.
As soon as I didn't even get in the building, just
Yeah.
pulling up to the parking lot, it smelled like pickles already.
That's a no joke pickle factory.
I'm gonna smell like pickles the whole day.